Hey guys, so it's here bringing you another video. Now, welcome to not a challenge or spectate, and apologies, it's another Anivia episode. I know I'm playing a decent amount of Anivia, so God, Huz, you're doing even more Anivia content. You're watching an Anivia. Why are you doing that? Well, the honest answer is it's no secret. I'm in the pursuit of Master again this season, and in order to do that, the higher rating you go, the game gets harder. And even when I hit Master a few years ago, I have to have a champion pool. I have to. You know, I'm not under the assumption that I can play every champion to master level. I think I could play every champion in Diamond 4, maybe Diamond 3. But when you're getting up to like where I am right now and rating Diamond 2, Diamond 1 on EU West, you have to main champs. Like, there's just no way around it. People are too good for you just to be like, I'm going to casually jump on a different champion every game. And clearly, Anivia right now, I would call one of my main champs. Of me recording this, I've got about 28 games of Anivia this season. My second champion, I think, is Ari. I've got 18. So I've played more Anivia than any other champion so far. It's not like I'm one-tricking. It's not like I'm playing a lot. I've only got 28 games. But I'd always look to get better. I'd like to think my Anivia is actually really good. I'm currently like 500th or something on EU West with Anivia. And that is only going to improve the more games I play. I actually looked around my ranking earlier today, and my KDA, my win rate, everything is much better than everybody around me in terms of the ranking. It's just the fact that I've only got 28 games. Now, why am I watching this guy? So this guy is EU West's best Anivia. So in my little bit of research that I was doing earlier, I was like, I'm going to see what this guy does. Does he do anything different to me? And oh boy, does he. So something's pretty similar. Same electrocute, runs ignite, does that kind of thing. Nothing kind of out of the ordinary there. If you're looking at the thumbnail and you're thinking that I've done the thumbnail wrong, I haven't. He runs Rocket Belt mainly every single game. He goes Magi very often too. So right now he's getting kind of poked out to a Victor, and this is, it's quite good to see. Victor is still one of the best mid laners, if not still the best mid laner in mid. And even Anivia is struggling in the early game, as she should. Anivia should struggle in the early game. Ooh, nice. So that is something that I will say I don't do much in Anivia. I'm aware of that mechanic. You basically throw your Q and E at the same time, and if so happened, look at... Ooh. The Victor won't get this kill, and if actually Anivia hit the E at the right time, if it was on cooldown, that Victor would have actually been close to death. But yeah, you throw your Q and E at the same time, or your E just delayed, and then basically they can't dodge both damage if both of them hit. Really nice wall into the ignite play. Why did you flash Victor? Don't know. And by the way, this is a master level game, so they do end up with first blood. But that is to say, Victor had priority all this lane phase so far. It's just he got, I don't know, a bit cocky. He probably should have played a little bit more passive. But yeah, I'm watching this game to be like, how does this person use Rocket Belt on Anivia? I don't understand. Like, is it... Because, like, the only of my thinking so far is sometimes you are just out of range to get a good wall on somebody, and Anivia is one of the slowest champions in the game. So is Rocket Belt to give you the little extra bump to get the wall off to then hit the combo? That's what I'm completely intrigued about. And again, I would say 95% of this Anivia's games, they're EU West's best Anivia. They are ranked the second best Anivia in the world. They're in Master, EU West. Like, 95% of the games, they're going Rocket Belt. The other, by the way, 5%, they actually don't even go Leandries, which is what I do every game. They do Everfrost, but I presume that's in certain matchups. I actually don't like Everfrost. I think you're conceding too much damage if you're going Everfrost route, and I feel that if I'm accurate with my Qs, etc., I don't need Everfrost. Everfrost to me it's aiding to a problem that if you just play really good, you don't need the help. You've got all the slows, you've got all of that stuff built in on the champion. Big tower dive you can see in top lane. Anivia early flashes, which is a mistake, and that's going to be a dead Anivia, but Thresh takes the kill, which isn't the worst thing in the world, but should have just, again, both mid laners dying to a flash that they arguably should not have done. Sometimes just accepting the death, just don't flash, then for next time you have flash available when you know you're dead. And the thing is, if you can hold your reactions back from flashing, that's the bigger thing, is that Anivia would know that was a bad flash. You do know. It's not hard to know after you've died. It's the reaction of I'm flashing instantly while I'm getting ganked. Can you resist the urge? Can you resist the reaction? That's the bigger thing. Anyway, has, by the way, gone tier. So that one thing I did notice, what I instantly thought could be a problem for Anivia is Lost Chapter. Meanwhile, Graves is here. Hello. Anivia, have you reacted yet? You're waiting. You're waiting. You're dead. That wasn't good. So, you know, worth saying, we're watching the best Anivia. This is just this game that we're watching. Not crazy performance so far. You know, quite a lot of mistakes, and that's the thing. Mistakes are normal. If you're expecting perfection, you've come to the wrong game. Even the best players in the world make plenty of mistakes, especially in solo queue. It's what I've always said. In solo queue, you could be distracted. You know, maybe that... You know, it could be anything. Some, like, dumb thing, like the Anivia walk back to lane and the dog's barking next to them, like, in real life. You don't know, right? So that was a bit weird. Or you just have a lapse in judgment and you make a mistake. But yeah, that was a bit weird. So it's worth mentioning that obviously I'm doing this commentary for a reason. I actually could pick through an abundance of games that this Anivia played. And it is worth mentioning, they do get fed in most of their matchups. And when I say most and how fed, over 10 kills, under 5 deaths. That is typically what this Anivia is doing, which is actually quite similar to what my Anivia is like sometimes. But I don't know how the rocket works, because in my head, Anivia's going to have mana problems. I think that's what I was saying before that happened, is, you know, Lost Chapter is a really powerful mana recovery tool that people kind of underestimate, I think. And if you're not taking even that, yeah, so getting a nice little thing on Victor. The Victor ultimate, by the way, is happening. We can't see it because the replays are still broken. Victor is maybe not dead. Is he dead? I don't think so. No, he is actually dead. Wow, that's impressive. I actually thought he might have not died there. If he used a Q, if it was on cooldown, used a Q on a minion, get the shield, he might have been okay, but maybe it was on cooldown, and Anivia would end up with another kill. Worth mentioning that the only big reasons that this Anivia is really killing this Victor is Ignite, and that is why I take Ignite on Anivia, is it just gives you that little extra nudge of damage that I feel Anivia... I don't want to say she's lacking in the early game, because I actually think she's underestimated in the early game, but having that Ignite surprises people, because people underestimate Anivia's damage early, and then they get like half health in one combo, and then you know, if you're already at half health in lane, a lot of the time in early game against a mage, you still feel quite safe. You know, it's early game, mages take a while to scale, they won't kill me from half health right now, and then you get half health in one combo of Anivia, and then the little Ignite pushes you over the edge and you're dead. That's what I think Ignite does for Anivia. There's not many matchups that I wouldn't go Ignite. If I'm against like a really good stun, hits the follow-up, again, basically half health in one combo, that's the point. If I was against like a hyper mobile roaming thing that I knew that it's going to be difficult to kill, then maybe I'd go teleport. But honestly, like, even if you're against a hyper roaming thing like a cat or something like that, my goal would still be try to kill the cat arena. Like, that's what I would try to do. When she's in lane phase, I'm going to try and kill you. But yeah, anyway, Victor is ahead on farm. And right now, when you're looking at the Anivia's build, you know, if you were the Victor against her, if I was against this Anivia playing something else, I think nothing was out of the ordinary. I'd be like, oh, okay, you know, she's got... misses the wall. That's what it is. It has to be. So you see these, she's going for these walls. That is literally, that was my first thought of why she builds Rocket Belt. It has to be to give you, you know, all these walls you can see are really close to having them in the Anivia ult. Like that little bit extra range, the little bump to then hit the wall, they would then be in Anivia ulti. It has to be for that. And like, people might say, like, am I going to try this? If you know, continue watching this commentary, if I think it looks good, will I? Yes. I will try it. Because clearly, and okay, so now that Anivia's got the alternator, now you know something's up. Like that's the point that you're like, huh, now something's a bit weird with this Anivia's build. I still would be interested to see how her mana's gonna cope, because Anivia is a very hungry mana champion, especially with keeping her ultimate around. So just a tier is just a tier enough to keep Anivia's mana manageable? Or is she going to have to make 1 or 2 plays, and then every single time she does 1 or 2 plays, instantly have to go back? I don't know. I'm honestly intrigued right now. Anivia, sorry, Victor is missing. Just to see the runes, by the way, I doubt anything's out. No, nothing's out the ordinary. So, Electrocute, Cheap Shot, Eyeball Collection, Relentless Hunter. I think I do mainly run Relentless Hunter myself, so I think that's fine. Again, because she's so slow. And then Presence of Mind, Coup de Grace, and then Attack Speed, Ability Power, Magic Resist. So nothing's completely out of the ordinary here. The runes are completely standard. You can see that the Anivia is trying to avoid as much poke as possible, but is still taking some because Victor Laser can get, you know, it's quite high range, surprisingly. So what is going to happen here? So the one thing mentioning does take more damage is Alternator, just to remind everybody, does a bunch of little damage. The item does damage for you. How much does it do? So damaging a champion deals an additional 81 on a 40-second cooldown. So it's not a lot of damage, but it's a little. Play happening in bot lane. Thresh was worth knowing is the one that was fed. Oh, this could be on. Here, maybe. Ornn ulti. Victor does have flash, though. They have vision of him also, apparently, because they just pinged. Okay, nothing happening in mid. Anivia was potentially roaming, but decided against it. Again, worth mentioning, Anivia is one of the worst roaming champions in the game. That is a big reason why when I play Anivia, you don't really roam. She is one of the worst roaming champs in the game, mainly due to her movement speed. So Anivia actually flashes aggressively there. Can she wall? Really good wall, but doesn't okay wall. Does kill the Graves there in combination with the Kayn. So still we've not seen Rocket Belt. Like, I know the Anivia and her team is getting kind of strong before this is even happening. Nice stun land. Look at that E damage. Like, with that was nuts. But again, Victor damage also kind of insane. Twitch is in the area. Twitch AD carry. Twitches love to roam. You're dead. Again, when people, I would say, still are not quite used to Renata, I do think the champion's pretty terrible, but people are still not completely used to her revive mechanic. Bit of a weird roam, it has to be said, for the enemy bot lane to both be in mid lane. Obviously, it's... Whoa, look at the minimap. That Ornn was huge. Why did he send it the wrong way? That was weird. So is Tryndamere actually going to dive an Ornn? Yes. He right-clicked. And survived. Yay. All right, here we go. No, we just got baited. She's not buying it yet. She went boots. Yeah. So she went tier 2 boots over finishing Rocket Belt. Damn it, I really want to see what Rocket Belt does. Again, I do agree with that because Anivia, again, why is she such a bad roaming champion? Her movement speed. Her movement speed, she is in the top 3 slowest champions in the game. I think, if I actually look it up, can I look it up? Is there an easy way? Movement speed, champion, lol. I think she has roughly the same movement speed as Yuumi. Oh, here we go. Got it. Got it. Okay. So, the slowest champion in the game is technically Rel. Doesn't really count, though. Rel when she's off her mount. Second slowest champion, again, doesn't really count, is Kled when he's off the mount. Then, the 3-2-5 category, which is what Anivia's in, is basically, she's in the group of champions that are the slowest in the game. Oh, nice combo into the Twitch death. Very nice. Love to see it. Bad positioning by Twitch. And it's worth mentioning because some people were like, dude, there's a fair amount of champions in that category, Huz. There is, but a lot of them have movement abilities, dashes, or something to make up for the fact that they're very slow. Or like Swain's in that list. Swain has got a W that's global, so you can affect the map when you're not quite there. Anivia has none of that. She literally has no way of like helping the situation from afar or getting there faster, like an ability speed. Like Blitzcrank is technically in that list, but then has an attack speed has a movement speed steroid in his W. So that's the thing. All right, so Victor teleported top lane, by the way, if you're wondering what happened. Anivia's going to walk away from a Trindy Nips. He does ulti, and Tryndamere does just right clicks and gets a bunch of kills. Bad fight happening. Kayn does get one return kill, but that was a 4v3. Well, 4v... Was that, yeah? 4v3 for the enemy team, because obviously bot lane don't move for red team, so not a great situation overall. So this game is actually quite close. Kills close-ish. Dragons are not close so far, but the gold, you know, decently close. Twitch trying his best to get a return kill and actually does do it. This Twitch is kind of doing the stereotypical not great Twitch AD carry thing that, you know, he's roaming around the map, he's getting these little kills. Look at the farm. He's half farmed to a Caitlyn, and there's no surprise why that's happening because he's not in lane. I don't know why Twitches do it. You know, he's not a weak champion. AD Twitch is actually very strong. But yeah, unless he just thinks, oh, I'm never going to do anything in lane phase, I may as well roam around the map. I don't know. You know, I've seen plenty of Twitches get very fed without going for roams and stuff. But again, I do know I'm fairly biased that I don't like roaming anyway. But yeah, I don't think a Twitch should be doing it. I know in his kit, it kind of makes partial sense. He's stealth. But if it's at the detriment of you're literally getting close to under half farm of the opponent AD carry, I think that's when it's not good. But yeah, so Anivia very slow is what I was basically trying to say. All right, level 11 hit. I'm guessing the early base straight after, you know, using the mana pool, then basing really quick after coming, like, basically reviving is Rocket. Okay, here we go. Hextech is Hextech Rocket Belt. So dash in a direction, unleashing an arc of missiles that deal damage, but nobody buys it for that. Then get... Oh, I actually didn't know that. See, this is where, you know, you may know roughly what everything is in the game. I don't know everything, surprisingly. Two things, actually. Because, again, I don't really buy this item. Oh, Rocket Belt? So that was the first Rocket Belt use. First Rocket Belt use was just get to the team fight. Takes the ulti. Or gets the kill there. Huh. It was basically get to the team fight because the Anivia just got her there a little bit quicker, which obviously that's what Rocket Belt's there for. But yeah, I didn't know two things. One, you gain 30% movement speed, so you're getting to the team fight quicker after even using Rocket Belt. Graves needs to be careful here. Or not. Maybe the others have to be careful, I guess. And gets the kill. Again, don't forget the auto attack. It is important. And there we go. So 2 for 1. That's okay. But yeah, one thing gains the 30% movement speed towards enemies after using it. I didn't know that. And then the actual item is magic penetration. Your other legendary items gain 5 magic penetration on hit, where this one is ability haste. So Leandri's, which I normally use or get, is ability haste. Anivia's got pretty low cooldowns as it is. You know, ooh, he's going for the ignite play. Rocket Belts. And then gets the kill. Very nicely played. Again, the Rocket Belt is still a bit weird to me. You're getting like that extra... This thing. Anivia's cooldowns are fairly low, but because you can use them basically all at the same time, there is a period where Anivia doesn't do anything. You have to wait till your cooldowns come back up, like for a few seconds. And that's when the Anivia is using Rocket Belt in combat. It's kind of weird. Kind of weird. But now, the Anivia, who's had a pretty rough start, I think is pretty easy to say, was losing lane, but then got a nice cheeky solo kill. Well, 2 solo kills, technically, because I think the Victor underestimated the damage, especially with Ignite. The Anivia is now pretty fed. 8-3-1 is still behind on farm because that is the weakness, I would say, of most Anivias. She's really hard to farm within the early game. Her auto attack enemy. Here we go. There it is. Rocket Belt gets the E damage off, and then Victor's going to commit to the fight. Has his ultimate, but then the trade with Egg gets the kill. I'm going to try this. I'm not streaming tomorrow of me recording this. I'm actually recording this like... if you're wondering, on Friday. I'm supposed to be right now watching Drive to Survive, like the whole thing. I've watched a few episodes. I've watched like 3 or 4 episodes so far. And I was just having a break from watching it, doing a bit of research of Anivia and stuff, trying to get better. I'm actively trying to get better. And even my best champion, you can still improve off. And that's where I came across this. I was like, I have to know the answer right now. I have to record this now. So yeah, hopefully you guys are enjoying that. And yeah, a bit of weirdness in builds, but it does weirdly make sense. Again, what I've said for ages is why I've not been a massive fan of the new items is I feel that they cover off the weakness too much of champion design. So something like a Jhin that is amazingly powerful in terms of his raw damage, he's an immobile AD carry. That's the trade-off. He has amazing raw damage, but he's immobile. But then you buy Gale Force on him, and it covers off that weakness. He's no longer immobile. Nice wall into the combo and gets the kill. Very clean play. Again, Victor, I think, has to be a little bit more careful in this game. But yeah, very nice by Anivia. Again, that's just a good Anivia play. That's not to do with Rocket Belt. But anyway. Fight happening. Rocket Belt used? Some of the Rocket Belt uses, I would say, are a little bit weird. Yeah, but it's interesting anyway. Fight happening. The funny thing is, Anivia is one of the biggest counters to Tryndamere if she plays it quite solid. Oh! Gets that kill. Renata doesn't res, and Tryndamere is going to live. Weirdly, I don't know what's happened to red team. They have a split pushing Caitlyn who's just not really getting involved. So that is a little bit odd. That's where the enemy team is actually getting a little bit back into these kills because the outnumbering situation. Anivia's doing a bit of chasing. And again, she's actually quite quick. Like, well, yeah. Oh, rocket belt. imagine if he was in there. Huh. But yeah. I am going to definitely try this. I still feel what I would say as a negative of it. She is having mana issues. Like, as I expect. Oh, Twitch, what are you doing? Oh, well, it's out of mana and yeah. Okay, so it doesn't affect her damage much, does it? Like, would have a Leandri's... Dude, actually, it might give her more burst. Think about it. Leandri's is a tank killing, 80 ability power, 90. Oh my god, it's going to give her more burst. Oh my god, think about it. Oh, I need to pause this. I need to explain what I'm thinking. This is what I normally buy. I normally buy Leandri's Anguish on Anivia. And that gives 80 ability power. It gives the damage, obviously, that it's doing the percentage based, which isn't burst technically. It gives every other legendary item 5 ability haste. It's giving 600 mana, which that doesn't give you raw combat power. That just gives you more mana. And it's giving you 20 ability haste standard. So you are getting a lot of ability haste when you're getting 20 from the item and you're getting 5 per legendary item complete, right? This item, though, is giving you 90 ability power, more. It's giving you 6 magic penetration, raw combat damage. It's giving you health, which is survivability in modern day League. And Leandri's, by the way, nowadays doesn't give you that because the old one did, the new one doesn't. And you're getting 15 ability haste. So again, you're not actually getting in the pure item. This is giving you 20 and that's giving you 15. So it's only a 5 ability haste difference. And again, Anivia's got low cooldowns, 5.3 seconds. The wall is situational one play, but her raw damage is 5.3 and 3 are your main 2. With your ultimate, that's 2. Ability haste doesn't really matter that much when your cooldowns are that low. So you're missing 5 ability haste, but you're gaining 10 more ability power. And you're getting 6 magic pen. And then for, again, raw combat damage, instead of getting ability haste per item, you're actually getting magic penetration per item, which again is pure combat power. This weirdly makes sense. You're also getting, you know, even though it's not the reason for it, you're getting the missile damage, the 171 missile damage. And the funny thing with Anivia's movement speed being so low, occasionally when someone's getting away, you can't quite get like an E on them or something. Rocket Belt might give you the little extra nudge to hit an E on them when they might be running away. And you're getting movement speed, which Anivia lacks, running towards targets. The only negative, everything is a negative. The only things I would say is it's not as obviously good against tanks, right? So clearly it's not very good against tanks, but it's not really a tank meta right now. It's rare, like there's an Ornn in this game, but it's actually quite rare to have pure tanks in the game right now. So maybe this Anivia would change if it was a tank meta. So that's fine. But again, when you're in mid lane, you're not against a tank. To get fed, you're not against a tank. So not a big deal. It's the mana. That is the one big thing for me at the moment that I'm like, ugh, the mana is going to be rough. Yes, you're still building the Seraphs mainly for the mana use, etc. But that, to me, is going to be rough. There's no other item that you're going to buy on Anivia to help with the mana problem either. Oh, hello, Tryndamere. Oh my god, she one-shot him. He genuinely got one shot. He didn't even ult. Because that's the thing. Anivia is going to have more burst with this build than the build that I do. The standard build. Wow. I want to try this really badly. Honestly, this excites me. As someone that, like, I know I'm going to be playing a decent amount of Anivia. I know she's a champion that's going to be... Oh, she's in trouble. Does get the kill, though. I think she actually missed her Q there or something. I don't know what exactly happened. Hits the Thresh, gets the kill, double kill Anivia. Renata is going to live just, and they do kill the Baron. That was a Victor ultimate or a Twitch ultimate was happening over the top, by the way. But yeah, no, honestly, this excites me. This is a new way to play the champion that I've never seen before. And there's a reason that the best Anivia player on EU West is doing it. They've thought about it, and clearly it's a good idea. It's worth mentioning, this player, even in Master, is getting fed in most games. They're actually buying Medjais in most games too, which I get pretty fed on Anivia quite often, but not like Medjai most games fed. Tryndamere standing in Anivia ulti, walls into the stun and gets the kill. Huh. Again, Anivia technically is a counter to Tryndamere, quite a hard one, but still. So it's actually opted for Zhonya's third item, also has full stacks of Magi's, by the way, and right now to push the advantage has bought an Elixir of Sorcery. An underestimated thing to do, by the way. You're getting ability power, mana regen, and deals true damage against champions and turrets periodically. People don't realize that's what that item does. It's actually very good. And like right now, oh, you know, don't buy an elixir. You've got other items to buy. It will give you a much higher power spike than anything else that you can buy for the same amount of money. That's what people don't realize. Twitch is in trouble. Look at that damage! Gets the E, doesn't even have the frozen effect. Does get egged, but it should be fine unless Tryndamere really wanted to go for that kill. I'm excited. Let me know what you guys think about this. And what I would say is a question down in the comments below, lands it on the graves with any follow-up, gets the kill legendary, is, are there any ways that you play a champion that's a little bit out of the ordinary, but worth mentioning? This isn't like, what I would say is something like AD Sion, as an example, is against what the champion is designed technically to do. He's designed to be a bruiser tank, and people are playing him as a full AD, whatever the hell. That kind of goes technically against his actual design. Anivia, you know, oh, you need to get a kill, you need to get a kill. Oh, that was so close. Technically, this is not going against any type of design. It's the same ethos as what I play Anivia. It's just doing it in a slightly different way. You're still a mage. You're still a team fight kind of mage, right? It's not different. Oh my god, the Truma dies. It's the same.
Blue team double kill.
Is there any champion that you play that all this is a slight change in one item? It's a slight change in one item, the mythic item, but that changes a few more things. It gives Anivia more burst, it gives Anivia more mobility, it gives her, you know, that's what it's doing. Is there anything that you play that, you know, you don't go, oh, everybody buys that item as the standard, I actually buy this item because it helps me do this? Like, is there anything else? Feel free to say it down below, because that's what I would say when people always say, like, oh, you're not big into innovation in League or whatever. I am. This is innovation for me. This is the extent of innovation that I think is healthy. It's not healthy for a Scion to build full AD or what, like that. It's not healthy for me to go against a design. It's not healthy for a support to be top played. It's a support. That's my limit of innovation. You know, if it's a support that suddenly builds, you know, a mythic tank item instead of a locket or something, well, that's then the support's really tanky and they might do more damage. That's fine. That's what I would say. That's my personal kind of limit, as it were. But yeah, I would presume next item, by the way, would be a death cap. 500 ability power for Anivia right now. Okay, here we go. Rocket belt any second, potentially. No? Any moment? Any moment? As Orn just upgraded the item, by the way, for Anivia. Rocket belt into the... Oh, dude. Yep. I am 100% trying this. The rocket belt is giving everything for this Anivia's playstyle. And I will say, I might need to adjust my playstyle partially on Anivia. Like, not by much. I've got quite an aggressive Anivia, as it were, as it is anyway. But combining the rocket belt to then go for the wall. The wall is the first thing. It's rocket belt to wall to stun to ult. That's the combo. Or if you're this fed, you can just rocket belt to wall to Q to E, and they might be dead anyway. But wow. Really good to see. This to me is a class, like, this is innovation. This is what one of the best Anivia in the world is doing. And as someone that is like doing well with Anivia right now, this is something new that I can do on the champion that isn't going too out of crazy. It's not going too innovative. It's not going against the champion's design. It's, if anything, it's expanding on the champion design. It's what I said earlier. It's using an item to make one of Anivia's weaknesses not as bad. One of her biggest weaknesses is her immobility. Is that, oh, she just can't quite get there to use the Q. She can't quite get there to land a good wall to block somebody in. That's what this does. Is it gives you, instead of the, oh, just can't quite get there, suddenly she's there. Suddenly she hit that wall. Suddenly she hit that Q. That's what this does. The negative, as always there's positives and negatives, is the mana pool. That's the negative. So if you feel that you can control your mana pool well, an okay amount, then this could be interesting. And that's what when I play it, probably my next stream or my next rank stream, I'll give this a go. That's going to be the deciding thing for me. Is this player clearly is very good, and clearly they have got understanding, and this is what they do pretty much every game. They know how to control their mana pool in a way that you've got, a lot less mana. The Liandry's, again, is giving you 600 more mana. In essence, that's a whole, at least another combo worth of abilities, if not 2, if not 3, including regen. 2 or 3 more combos that I'm currently used to. I'll have that less. So it's going to be interesting. But anyway, that's going to be it. If you guys enjoyed, and, as I've always said, never stop looking to improve. I have become, personally, I feel, let me know what you guys think if you want to, if you've been watching me for years. I feel right now I'm a better player right now than I have been for years. Like, literally, like, my last hitting is better. I'm more dominant in lane now than I've been in years. I am winning lane most games. Like, I am really happy with how we're playing. We just got to keep it going. The win rate, we're still on like a 55-54% win rate in Diamond 2. That's really good. We're going to get it. We're going to get Diamond 1 hopefully pretty soon, and then we'll be onward to Master again. So, hell yeah. If you guys enjoyed, please do throw a like on the video, throw a comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.